It's Takedown. Hello again, everybody. I'm Scott Casper. This is Takedown Wrestling, brought to you in part by our folks at the Des Moines Area Sports Commission, the Greater Des Moines Convention and Visitors Bureau, also by Clinch Gear. Why the Des Moines Area Sports Commission, by the way? They are the home of the 2013 NCAA Wrestling Championships. Well, one of those young men that will help propel Harvard to St. Louis this year joins us next. It's Corey Jantzen. Corey, welcome back.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
Hey, buddy. Now, it seems like as a senior co-captain, you would have been hard at work quite a number of weeks ago, but lo and behold, you're making your return to the lineup just last week, and it was a successful return as the Crimson defeated Ryder 22-15 in its first duel of the day before falling to number 24 ranked Rutgers, but it wasn't because you didn't help out. You did. Matter of fact, you picked up a huge win. Let's break it down. First of all, your return to wrestling. What was wrong? Tell the folks out there what had happened.
Well, last year, about a quarter of the way through the season, I got injured in practice. I actually tore my UCL ligament in my elbow and had Tommy John surgery like most of the professional baseball pitchers get. So that set me back about 9 months. I couldn't finish last season, obviously, and I actually couldn't start competing until this past weekend.
How pissed off were you? I mean, and that may not be the correct term, but I know I would have been really pissed off. And I don't even know at who, you know what I mean? But it had to have put you on edge competitively. You want to get out there. You're a competitor. You're a beast on the mat. How did that make you feel when you could not compete?
Extremely frustrated. It's funny what wrestling does for you every day. You know, you don't realize until it's taken away from you, but it helps you relieve so much tension and stress. I felt like I was mad at everyone, my teachers, my friends, my family. It was a tough couple of months, but I'm just glad to be back. My college career hasn't been I haven't been that blessed as far as injury free. I think every season I've been injured and haven't had a full season yet. So hopefully this year, now that I'm back on the mat, I can stay healthy and make my run at a title.
Well, you may not think it has not been blessed, but point in fact, your performance on the weekend only proved the belief of the coaching staff and those in wrestling in what you do bring to the mat. And there is your blessing. You were the EIWA co-wrestler of the week after posting a 4-0 record on the coming out party, if you will, to help your Harvard wrestling team to a 3-1 mark over the weekend. Let's talk about it. You earned bonus points in 3 of your victories, recording 1 fall and 2 majors while making what is now known as your seasonal debut. Your biggest win came via a 7-4 decision in tiebreakers. I can look at that one and say that's your biggest one, but I think your biggest one was when you knocked off third-ranked and previously undefeated Mario Mason of Rutgers. Talk about that bout.
It was my second match back, and I haven't competed. It's been basically a year, so the nerves crept in a little bit, and I forgot that feeling, but once I was on the mat, my body kind of took over control. I got into a little bit of trouble early on in the match. I got reversed to my back, actually. We were on the line, and I got excited. I was riding my crab ride that Andy McNerney, previous Harvard wrestler, All-American, taught my brother, and then obviously I learned through my brother. But, I got excited, a little anxious on the line. Ended up getting into trouble. And I saw myself down 4-0. Plenty of time left, about probably, say, half the match left. And I looked over the corner. Coach just told me to relax, stay calm, and I slowly worked my way back into the match.
Oh, you got an escape and then a takedown, right?
Yeah, I got an escape shortly after, got a takedown on the line. And at that point, scored 4-3. I was feeling pretty comfortable going into the third period, going down. And, I'm back on the mat. I was excited, so I didn't want to let this opportunity pass by. And ended up getting the escape. Got into a couple scrambles at the end of the third period. Almost gave up a takedown, almost got a takedown. And, ended up scoreless. We went into overtime. I got rode him out for 30 seconds, a quick escape, and ended up winning the match.
Those are the matches that we live for, aren't they? I mean, those are those career makers, story takers. In other words, they'll help make your career, but they will take And fans take these matches and turn them into stories, and they'll tell you about these stories standing in line at McDonald's or when you're waiting for a table at the tests or whatever it is. You know, they come up to you and say, "Do you remember that match?" And then they tell you how they remember that match, that special moment in wrestling history when they were a fan and you were the athlete. In many cases, that's happened with your brother. You've seen it. That's happened with you. If you recall your history with the Midlands, for example, as a senior in high school, and the entire wrestling world was on edge. What was the NCAA going to do? You know, how can they let a high school kid wrestle at an event like this? It was so special and so spectacular that nobody wanted to see it not happen, and yet they couldn't just say, you know what, we're not going to comment. So your career has been somewhat storied, has been special, it has had its spectacular moments, in many cases much more so than 99% of all those out there that wrestle injury-free throughout their collegiate career. So you have had a special career. You are a co-captain this year. You've got a certain responsibility to keep this team up. Do you feel that obligation?
Absolutely. You know, every day I just try to, set an example on and off the mat. Get my schoolwork done and getting extra workouts in. I try to lead by example. And then, some of the freshmen, I know how it is coming in, being a high school stud and then, having some losses early on in your college career, and it's hard to deal with. And, I try to help those guys out as much as I can. And I just want, the best for the program. And, hopefully we can be successful this year.
Some of your teammates like Walter Peppelman, currently sitting on a number 5 ranking, and number 13th ranked Stephen Keith have performed well. And you've been there. You've been watching. You've been wrestling. You've been practicing. You've been traveling with these guys. It's pretty cool to see this team starting to come together right now when it counts. I mean, we all return to St. Louis, Missouri. I remember your brother winning back in 2004 that title, that NCAA championship for Harvard, when the last time it was that they had won an NCAA title was 1938, and that man was sitting right behind me. Don't think the hairs on the back of my neck weren't standing up. Jesse Jantzen holds a special place in my heart in my professional career because it literally was him on the mat in front of me. Behind me was that guy, that 1938 NCAA champ for Harvard. Do you remember that moment?
I do. I remember it like it was yesterday. Probably one of the greatest moments in my life, watching my brother win the national title. Words can't describe it, and hopefully this year I can share that feeling.
How bad do you want that? How bad do you want to experience that? I mean, your brother and you have been tight. You have been close. And perhaps the sport of wrestling has allowed that opportunity to be even more so, if you know what I mean. It's Absolutely. A sport that you can't say, well, you can't lie to him. You can't fib. You can't tell him a story about why you did or did not win. He knows. He's been there, and there's no tools out there that can fail. There's just what you two have had as a shared existence, a shared experience, and I love it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Wrestling in my family, it's brought us extremely close. My sisters, my brother. I have three sisters as well, and my parents, they come to every match, and it's definitely a family affair, and it's brought our family extremely close.
I love that part. I truly do. And I'm sorry if it sounds like I get up on a soapbox. Pardon me, but I love this sport. Let's talk a bit about what comes up for you guys. You guys are going to be all heading to Texas for the Lone Star Duels. Brown and Brown, App State, and Oklahoma are waiting for you guys. Brown and Oklahoma have been there all 15 years. Harvard has not been, but this is a great competition. There's some 11 teams out there that are going to be heading into the great state of Texas. What are your expectations of this tournament?
I just want, for me individually, I want to compete, be free, not stressed, just have fun and enjoy the sport and the moment. Basically score more points than the other guy, If you do that, you'll win every match.
Is that how it works? If you score more than the other one? Okay. How's school going? You guys are still off until like the 27th or 28th of January.
Yeah, this is a great time for us where we can focus on, just wrestling and training. We don't have to worry about the stress of school, which is really nice. Just get in the room, work on technique, conditioning, and have fun and relax afterwards.
Now, during the long holidays like this, does Coach Weiss call you every day, or are you supposed to check in? And how does that work? Or does he kind of just, let you guys come in and work out as you will and be a part of the unstructured practice? Or tell us about, the holiday for wrestlers at Harvard.
Yeah, we're in contact with the coaches daily. They do a great job at keeping in touch and keeping us on track. So, we want, as a group, we come in, we get a morning workout in, then we try to get on the mats. This is a time where we can focus on technique. And, in the beginning of the year, we have a bunch of tournaments. The guys competed great. But, we go over film, see our problem areas, and this is where we can make the adjustments for, the final push.
How important is that GPA record for Coach Weiss? I know he's proud of it, but does he talk about it a lot? I mean, you're part of the class that broke that record. What was it, a 3.51, I think it was? You're part of that, special class. So I got to believe it's got to have some importance. Harvard has looked at education as one of those schools everybody aims for.
Yeah, it's extremely important for us as a team. As a team, we set goals each year, and that's definitely one of the goals on the list. Being able to compete at Harvard is a great opportunity, and, we want to show that we can excel not only on the mat but also in the classroom.
You've got such great assistants, too. I would be remiss if I didn't recognize the great Pat Owen, the incredible one, J.P. O'Connor, and then Muzaffar Abdurrahmanov as a, interpreter extraordinaire. He interprets wrestling moves. That's what he interprets. He is incredibly strong. And we got to give him some recognition to Moose as well. So good job out of you today. Congratulations on your award. Ladies and gentlemen, he is not just another great wrestler from the East. Out of Cambridge, Mass, he is the co-wrestler of the EIWA. And we're proud to have him on the show. Corey Jantzen from Harvard. Congratulations, Corey. Happy New Year.
Thanks so much.